I was married with 3 kids, and my wife ran off with the bloke next door. I thought, what have I been doing all this work for? On the railway I worked nights and different things, and little did I know what was happening. So she took the kids and I decided to go out there and find something I liked. And caddying was, you know, the one where I went.
Pete Coleman may have had an unusual route to his career in caddying, but the man known as Lucky on the golf circuit played his part in more than 60 worldwide wins in a career spanning more than 20 years. He was on the bag for some notable players, the likes of Seve, Greg Norman and Bernhard with whom he spent the majority of his career. Despite the exalted status of his employers, Pete wasn't afraid to speak his mind. And with his background in other fields, he brought new innovations to the job.
When I went out on tour, my experience on the railway is that I used to do all the measuring with a measuring wheel, with a true meter measuring wheel. And I went out on tour and found out nobody had any real measurements. You know, it was all paces, and so everybody had a different yardage on the holes. And I brought this measuring wheel out onto the tour. A lot of the old caddies just used to turn up, get some beer money so they could go and have a few pints and eat and then carry on. I mean, I remember that some of the players used to have to pay their caddy every day so that they could survive. You know, it wasn't a thing that you think could make a profession of it, and as luck was it, you know, I came along and made it more of a professional type of thing, and ended up from a poor boy to a fairly rich boy. By far the trickiest person was Ballesteros. I mean, he was the best player I ever caddied for, I would say, with his shot making and everything else. He was brilliant. The thing is with Seve, he was a very hard person. You know, it made you sort of think too much about caddying, because even if you thought you was right, you'd then say too much, and then he'd give you a rollicking for not speaking up. But you know, you learn respect for the people that are employing you, you know, but you also, they can't take away what is good for you, because I wasn't really a nervous person. 9 times out of 10 I felt that I had to be solid, and I think that's what people liked about it, you know. I mean, I used to say it and then get away. I mean, Bernhard was a pretty slow player, that was my main man, and I used to try to make a decision and take the bag away so there wasn't too much, you know, talking to be done afterwards. Well, Bernhard was a very, very quiet person, you know, and what he'd done was always thorough. He wouldn't leave any stone unturned. He would do everything so thorough. So when it come to having a situation of having the right yardage, the right club, we were 99% certain we would never make a mistake. It was a very good situation, really. Hard work, but it's the player that makes you. You know, Bernhard made me, Seve made me, you know. I mean, I was lucky that I was around when there was a lot of good players, and I actually got involved and won golf tournaments with them. So you've also got to have that little bit that you can add to the player. Maybe it's only the last 9 holes in a golf tournament, but you've got to be there ready. When I was a kid, I always wanted a fast car and a house on the golf course. That was my ambition in life. So I got my fast car, and then I bought a house just down on the 13th on this golf course. Not, a few years later after that, but it was just an ambition for me to do, and I just enjoyed life.